So as you can see, I'm quite visibly tired in this video. I literally just woke up actually. But I felt really inspired today to just speak about healing. Healing after baby loss, and what does that actually mean? And it means obviously so many different things to so many different people. And I think the whole point is to permit yourself to have your separate healing journey, without comparing it, without judging it, without looking at other people and being like, oh my God, that person, her baby died 2 years ago, look where she is now. Or that person's baby died a few months ago and look where she is already, and things like that. I really struggle with the concept of healing. Not to say that I don't believe that we can do healing on ourselves. I don't like to say the word healed, because just like with everything in life, it's always an ongoing journey. And so when I think about healing, I just think we have to not necessarily think of it as, okay, I should be at a specific place in a specific time frame, in order to be fine, in order to be able to function. I think actually it's just better to feel, to just exist within the space of what is happening to you without having any expectations of where you should be going next. And I really think when we start putting ourselves in this pressure of, oh, I need to be healed, we are putting more weight to something that is already so heavy. Losing a child is the heaviest thing you can experience. So it's better for us to just go through it, live with it, and our lives will expand and form in a certain way where we can survive while still living with the fact that our baby has died, without having to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm still in this space, or oh my goodness, like I thought I was fine and now I've collapsed, like where I'm going backwards and stuff. Why are we judging ourselves in those ways? Like, why do we feel like we need to be absolutely healed? I don't even think you can be absolutely healed by something as profound as losing a child. I do believe that you can be on a healing journey, and that is ongoing, and that there should be no goal with a healing journey. There should be no end point in a healing journey. It is continuous. Like it's always happening, and it happens in whatever way it happens for you. And you can't be looking and comparing that, oh, this is where I should be, or oh, look at that person and that's where they are and therefore that's where I need to be. Like even me, for example, I'm in a place in my healing that I am able to speak about the loss of my daughter. I'm able to, and for me, part of my healing has been to bring her with me. So I'm very expressive. Like for me, I love having like little reminders of my daughter, and I love to have other people seeing that, just as I would have loved to have a picture of her and have other people seeing that. Personally, in social media, I don't really like to share children, but living children. The fact that obviously my daughter isn't here, for me, it means so much that other people can still see her, because it like validates the fact that she existed. But for some people in their healing journey, that's not part of it. Showing their child that is so precious to them, that belongs to them, is not part of it, and that's absolutely fine. And it doesn't mean that you're not doing well. It doesn't mean that, oh, I'm not as good as that person. Like none of that, right? We know that we should never compare ourselves. Like if we've learned anything from the social media era, of like when Instagram was all about the models and stuff like that, and people who have nice cars and nice houses, why are we comparing ourselves? Like a lot of the times those cars and nice houses are rented, are borrowed. Like the clothes that these amazing models have are gifted to them for free, and we're comparing them on a basis of where we are and where our lives are. Like it's impossible to be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. In my healing journey, I find it very hard to talk about my story, and that's probably why I haven't really shared what happened to me. And when I do share what happened to me, I do it so briefly because I've I forget key moments that are things that really are really awful that happened to me. And then B, I find it really hard. Like, I just find it really hard, so I skip. And I really do want to talk about my story. For example, I had preeclampsia, and I keep being like, oh, I had signs of preeclampsia. Like, I could have saved my daughter. And I think parts of my healing journey is accepting that now there was nothing that I could have done and it's not my fault. But that's really hard for me to accept, for example, if I'm being really honest. So healing is whatever it looks like for you. And the fact that you're still here just shows how much, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to keep going, to get up in the morning, to have a shower, to speak to other people, to see other people, to go outside. I remember for a very good few months, like maybe 3-4 months, I don't know how long it took me to be able to go outside to the supermarket, to Aldi, which was the market that I went all the time, without rushing through the baby aisle, crying when I saw nappies, crying when I saw baby items, without going outside without my headphones. And now I can go outside without my headphones. But what if there was a day where I couldn't go outside without my headphones again? And now I would be comparing myself to, oh, look at where I've gone and now I've gone backwards, and then I'd be judging myself on something that is fair. It's fair to feel that way. It's fair to allow ourselves to feel that way. And I think especially as Black people, like, I cannot stress enough how much my identity, I believe, has added to the fact that in my healing path, I was very judgmental to myself, because I grew up being very like, okay, take it on the chin, just keep going. Like, emotions, suppress your emotions. So much so that when I heard the words, oh, my daughter didn't make it, I was already trying to process that. Okay, how am I going to firm this? How am I, in the moment of hearing that? That's why it took so long for it to even hit me, because I'm like, okay, right. Yeah, sure. Of course that happened to me. Of course it happened to me. Yeah. It makes sense. But it shouldn't be like that. I think that, for example, when I look at my parents, they really instilled this thing in me to, especially my dad, like, just keep going. Don't think about the things that are so hard to think about. You have to just keep going. And I do think, like, I live in the UK, right? And I start to think about, like, okay, my parents are immigrants, okay? And what does it take? You're already Black, right? So you feel like you have to work twice as hard, and you feel like there's so many other things that add to it, but you're working twice as hard, and you can't afford to take a step back from life because of the things that happen to you. You can't afford to do that. But then as an immigrant as well, again, you have to work twice as hard, because you want to take up the space that you deserve, like a seat at the table, all these kind of things. And so when it comes to things like being okay after something bad happens to you, you are putting that same pressure on yourself. Like, you need to be okay. Like, my dad and my mom, they were born in Angola, and they saw people, like, they were there during the war. They left to Portugal as refugees. They literally saw their friends, people dying in the streets like it was nothing. So you sort of build this defense mechanism and you take that on. So there are so many added layers to the reasons why people just they barge through the healing. They barge, like, and it's like, cool, I'm at the end, I'm healed. But really, are you really, like, just permit yourself to go through what you need to go through, because otherwise it will come up in other ways, and sometimes it's much worse, because you haven't dealt with it. And especially because something as serious as losing a baby, society doesn't even allow you to talk about it in the first place. You are so silenced. And so while you can permit yourself to really just go through it, And that is part of the healing journey. Healing isn't being okay at the end of it and doing well at the end of it. Healing is going through the rocks and finding little ways to comfort yourself or feel sorry for yourself, whatever it is, and doing that again and again. And it's an everyday thing, like up until the day that I die or up until old age, if I make it there, I will still be healing. I will still be on that journey of I am surviving this. I think the moral of the story is when it comes to healing, do not compare. When it comes to healing, give yourself time. When it comes to healing, there is no end goal. When it comes to healing, you just go through it and expect for it to always be different. And it might be a rocky road today and a smooth road tomorrow. Like it's like running. You can run so many different marathons, but for you to get there, you need to have you would have needed to have trained to do it. And even then, like you could have run 10 marathons, and even then, for each marathon that you are running, it's a different marathon. It is exhausting. You might be so well trained, but it might take you so long. It's just different all the time. It's different all the time. Allow yourself for it to be different. Do not give yourself more headache by being like, this is where I need to be. I'm not there on my days. Who am I? What am I doing? Black women always have to be like, I've got this. I'm doing this. Me, I'm that person. I'm doing this. And in doing this, that, I'm already using that as a distraction. Sit with it. Why not do a little meditation? Why not do whatever it is? I know some people don't like to do meditation. Why not do a prayer? Why not go for a walk and reflect? Why not just lay down on the floor? Maybe walking is too much. You might be right at the beginning or wherever you are in your grief. Maybe being outside is too exposing. Lie on the floor in your house. Sit down. Lay down longer in bed. Run a bath and just lay there, like have a little spa session for yourself. Because we cannot underestimate how much you go through on top of losing a child, the other secondary losses you go through, and there are many. Like people don't even take that into account. You will lose relationships with friends, family, your other half. You will lose those things because maybe people are not seeing where you are at and not wanting to meet you where you are at. And that is so unfair and no one deserves that. No one deserves that. Losing a baby is forever. We'll remember that in moments, in days, in things that happen to other people. When we meet someone the same age as our child, you're never going to be able to see your child get their driver's license. Something as simple as buying their school uniform. So you will be reminded all the time, and the support and acknowledgement should be there all the time. All the time. Why do people think like it stops after the baby is no longer there? Like it is a forever thing. The acknowledgement needs to be, and support needs to be there all the time. And that's part of your journey as well when it comes to healing, because you have a village. You expected to have that village if your baby was living. Why is that village not there now when you need it most? You need that village, you need people. So please, also part of the healing is finding your community too. It's about finding the people you can connect with. My mum, for example, I've got Mila's ashes here. I've got a little hologram that's got her picture. My mum, every time she steps in my house, she'll greet us and then she'll greet her granddaughter. Simple as that. For some people, that's weird. Okay, cool. What else can other people do? Oh, I saw this lovely flower. It reminded me of your daughter. Send me a picture, a text. Boom. Every now and then. Come and visit me. If you're bringing me something like a cupcake. Okay, I got you this cupcake. And here's another one for Mila as well. I just thought I'd get something, in memory of her. Mila's not going to eat the cupcake, but I can eat the cupcake. So that is what healing is. Allow yourselves.